Hello, everybody. This is Dfs Chan coming to you to talk about March 9th, Dfs Slate. It's a 4-game slate, 2 games in China in the LPL, and then 2 games in Korea for LCK. So yeah, yesterday, I know, just a quick recap, we had a slate preview video in which we kind of fancied the JDG as a long stack and picking the JDG as an upset pick. And, unfortunately, one of our members at True DFS had a takedown. It was a 13 or 14 way tie, I believe, in the main GPP, but, he still finished first. So it was a takedown day, and so that's great. So we hope to continue that success every day. So yeah, let's dive in. First, in China, it's Ultra Prime versus Thunder Talk. 2 shitty teams going at it. Ultra Prime is a slight favorite at minus 176, and Thunder Talk is the slight underdog at plus 135. The kill upside for this one is pretty high. It's sitting at 26 kills over total over under. So it's projected to be pretty bloody. And then RNG versus LGD is the second matchup in the LPL. The 2 teams that are pretty good. Well, at least RNG is really good. I think RNG is now considered as a very, very good elite team, if not maybe the first or second best team in China. So that's why they have this big favorite odd at minus 750. And then LGD is a big underdog at plus 425. And this is the matchup to target from the kill upside standpoint. They're sitting at 27 kills total, kills over under. So yeah, it's projected to be very bloody, which any LGD game really is. So yeah, let's dive in. Let's look at the starters that are confirmed for Ultra Prime and Thunder Talk. As you guys know, here Allies is starting again in the top lane, and then everybody else stays the same. Hacker, Jungle, Crying at mid, and Elk and Shoutzy in the bottom lane. And then for Thunder Talk, it's new. Chieftain and UCal, the Korean imports, are starting again in the jungle and mid position, and then Puff and Southwind are starting for Thunder Talk. So, yeah, I mean, both shitty, but Ultra Prime is less shitty. So I actually think Chieftain and UCal have been playing a little bit better. And against a team like Ultra Prime, who has not been as dominant. I mean, I like Thunder Talk's chances to win here, to pull off an upset, but really, I mean, like I said, 2 shitty teams. So I do think it's going to come down to the main lanes without any clear advantages. I think it'll probably come down to the jungle mid synergy between these 2 teams, in my opinion. I know Hacker and Crying have been playing much longer together throughout the entire split, whereas Chieftain and UCal kind of came in toward like 2 weeks in after the season started. Where they had to clear the visas and everything. Maybe probably more than 2 weeks, maybe like 3-4 weeks in after the season started. And then they had been starting since then. So yeah, it's a very interesting one. I wanted to see if they are battle tested, to see if you see any pattern as to how many good wins they have compared to how many bad losses they have. And that's kind of how it landed us in picking JDG yesterday. So let's conduct a similar exercise. So first, Ultra Prime has lost to Victory 5, good team. JDG, good team. Team WE, they beat them, and WE is the worst team in LPL right now. So not too impressed. And they beat OMG, wow. 2-1, so that's pretty good. That's a good win, in my opinion. And then they lost 2-0 to Weibo Gaming, a really good team. FPX, decent team. And they lost 2-1. And then against Anyone's Legend, who's been playing really well, they lost. So Yeah, I mean, I think Ultra Prime has been playing against really good teams, and looks like, I mean, at least they've been playing good against good teams. It's not like they've been winning them, but they've been playing against good teams. Whereas Thunder Talk on the other side has played against LNG, who's been decent but struggling a little bit. So they lost 2-1, and then FPX they beat them 2-1. But I think that was more like an outlier win, in my opinion, because they lost to LGD. I don't think they're that great. And then Rare Atom, that's not great. TES, BLG, anyone's legend. Yeah, I mean, I just feel like Thunder Talk has been taking the series to 3 games. The last 1, 2, 3, 4 games. So 4 games, and the last 4 games Thunder Talk played, it all went to 3 games. So I actually fully expect this series to go to 3 games as well. But at the end of the day, I think I'm gonna have to give the edge to. I do want to see how Thunder Talk beat FPX here. Maybe there is a little trend that I have missed. Yeah, I mean, they won 15-3 in game 3 of that matchup against FPX. And to me, it looks like Puff was really, really good. Because I think the weakness was in the jungle too. Yeah, and Gory played really badly, I remember. But then FPX is starting care. Yeah, mid lane, maybe against a bad mid laner. They had a good time and won that matchup. Bad. The Ultra Prime have a bad mid laner. Crying. I mean, I think Crying is serviceable. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go still. Ultra Prime wins this series 2-1. That's what I'm gonna go with, I think. So let's do that. All right, let me pull it up. 3-9 LOL Dfs prediction. I'm gonna say Ultra Prime beats Thunder Talk 2-1. Okay. All right. The second matchup of the day is RNG versus LGD. So let's look at the roster just for comparison purposes, even though I know what I'm gonna say. Okay, Ben has been playing amazing, like lights out. And I feel like he was the last missing piece because all other lanes were playing really well, including obviously Xiao Hu, who won the Player of the Week, I think, in the LPL. And Gala and Ming have been playing really well too. There's an advantage there. There's an advantage there for RNG. In the jungle, yeah, I'll give you Shadow playing well as Wei. So I think that might be a wash, but in every single other lane, RNG has an advantage. Ben, Xiaohu, Gala Ming over all 4 of the other respective counterparts for LGD. So Let's look at the schedule real quick. I know RNG schedule is probably impressive. I mean, they won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 games. I mean, out of the last 10 games, they won 8 out of the last 10. The only losses they have is against for Adam, which I think was a trap game, really. It's an outlier game. And then against Victory 5, who has been probably the best team in the LPL this year, other than RNG and Top Esports so far, I think, the hottest team rather. So RNG has beaten recently EDG, WBG, and then LNG. So and TES and BLG. So I mean, yeah, RNG is like really battle tested. They've been winning those games, a lot of those games, whereas LGD has just been struggling a lot. I mean, they've lost to WBG, EDG. They're both good teams, despite those good teams. LGD, I know, has been struggling just based on the eye test. And then they beat IG, who hasn't been great, and then they beat Thunder Talk. So I fully expect RNG to win. Now I'm gonna look at the kill upside and see in LGD games sometimes that LGD games are projected to be the highest in kill projection, so that naturally makes LGD a good GPP consideration. So I'll take a look at that at the end and see if, to measure any kill upside for the matchup. So I actually think, just in terms of predictions, LGD 2-0. Okay. All right. And then in Korea, 2-game matchups. This will be a little quicker in Korea because Korea actually has a few weeks left. So there are a lot of playoffs, motivation narratives and, pressure coming down from the fans, but also from the coaching staff and the owners. So I'll kind of navigate through all of that, all of those factors, and determining who I think will win. More kind of like, wired in the LCK rumor mills and kind of as to what's going on, because I'm more of an LCK fanatic and I'm fluent in Korean. So, there are a lot of local Korean websites that discuss and kind of, talk about what each team is going to do and has been doing and what they're going through. So DRX versus Nongshim. DRX is a favorite and they've been playing pretty well. I know that everybody is back for DRS. King, Pyosik, Zika, Deft, and Barrel, they should all start. I know King and Pyosik have been playing much better lately. And then Deft and Barrel have been the solid foundation for that team all season long. So the bottom lane's been solid, but the top half of the map, top and the jungler, they've been playing much better. Their form has been coming up. Zika on the other side, though, I mean, he's been consistent at least, but not, I'd say consistently mediocre. I think he's a serviceable mid, and he has been so far in both China and Korea, especially Korea in the split. He's been playing pretty well, but just not that great though. Like he's not an elite mid laner in my opinion. But I think he meshes well with his teammates so far. And then going up against Nongshim, who's been really struggling. I mean, they're now outside looking into the playoff seeding wise. So they're gonna have to win out probably all 4 games starting today. I think they're gonna be motivated to win, but they have been just really in bad form. I do think Ghost will start at AD carry again, and then Effort will start as support, just given how poor Peter has been playing. I don't think it's Peter's fault. I think really Peter has been playing well until Nongshim decided to bench him and send him down, demote him to the challengers team for Nongshim. So I think that all kind of messed it up in the middle of the COVID pandemic and everything. So anyway. So long story short, DRX also has to win this one to kind of keep the pace for the playoffs. I do fully expect that DRX will win here, just based on the recent form. I know Kana Akana and Dread were playing well, but not anymore. In my opinion, Ghost actually has been the best player so far in the last 2 weeks for Nongshim. And that's a scary proposition for them to have, because also going up against DRX. DRX's biggest strength is in the bottom lane, in my opinion, Deft and Barrel. Deft has been playing lights out, obviously, on Jinx. He's been playing really good. But even if he doesn't play on Jinx and any other champion, I think Deft has been playing really well. And Deft is not going to be the reason that DRX will lose, because Deft is such a smart player. And he's not also not gonna give up a lot of deaths. So I do think DRX is gonna win. It's just a bad matchup for Nongshim, just given how poorly they've been playing. And like I said, their strength has been, in Ghost and probably Effort starting again. So I just feel like DRX is gonna neutralize that, and DRX will win. So I'm gonna say 2-1. I do think Nongshim can get a game off if Kana and Dread play a little much better, and I think BDD can definitely have potential to beat Zika. So, all right, the next one is a very interesting one, and because of all the COVID issues, I know Damwon Kia is a favorite at -185, and then Genji is a slight underdog at +142. First of all, Damwon Kia, all the players should all play, but they have their head coach Danny has COVID, so the head coach is not going to be participating in this game. Usually, as you guys may know, head coaches are crucial, especially during the pick and ban phase and the champion selection phase. That's what the coaches really study up on the opponent's tendencies and preferences on champion selection. So that's when the coaching kind of comes into play. But at the same time, they have assistant coaches who will obviously step forward and step in the shoes of Danny, going to the bench or just missing out because of COVID today. So I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue, because it's not really a player who's sitting out. But at the same time, I do think it might affect them in terms of the champion selection and picks and bans, which can mean a lot of things in this meta. There are a lot of the same powerful champions and powerful picks that each team likes to prefer. So we'll see what happens there. But unlike Damwon Kia, Genji actually is facing a player COVID issues. I know Ruler has been sitting out for a while, but he's expected to be back today, barring any new positive tests or quarantine requirements that we don't know of. So Ruler should be back at AD carry today. I know a lot of people have asked me that the last couple hours. Ruler should be back. He's expected to be back. And then in the mid lane, though, Chovy is out, most likely. Chovy is out, so they're going to have either Quid or Ophelia from the Challengers team to sub in the mid position. So I don't know exactly who it's going to be. I haven't checked the Genji Twitter feed the last hour or so, but maybe they have already posted it, or in the next couple hours they will. So as soon as they do post it, I will share that as well in the Discord channel. So yeah, look out for that. But in terms of the actual matchup, yeah, I mean, Damwon Kia has been playing pretty well. And obviously Canyon and Showmaker are the reasons why they can beat some elite teams. And Genji, I mean, Peanut is obviously elite too. And Doran has been playing okay. And then Ruler and Lehens is obviously elite. So I do think Genji has a decent shot today. But if, I mean, Chovy is sitting out still. So I think that's a huge blow for Genji. But Genji can definitely beat Damwon Kia even without Chovy, in my opinion. So I think it's going to be a very interesting matchup. And as you guys know, Genji played without Chovy last series, and they beat, I believe, Nongshim, or was it Kwangdong Freaks? Well, either way, Genji won a game without Chovy and Ruler. They had Quid and Ophelia both starting at mid and AD carry position last time out, and they won the series. So I just feel like with Ruler back, they're gonna get a bump, and they could beat Damwon Kia even with this lineup without Chovy. So I think Genji is a good GPP consideration, but at the end of the day, this matchup is projected to be very low in kills. As you see, there's 20 sitting at 23 over under, whereas the first LCK matchup between DRX and Nongshim is sitting at 24 kills. So both are low, but Genji and Damwon Kia, this matchup is projected to be the lowest. So I'll take a look at the combined kills per minute at the end after this, to kind of confirm if there's any edge, or if I disagree with that total kills over under number. But at least from that standpoint, it's projected to be low in kills. So obviously that translates into low DFS points. So yeah, I mean, but at the end of the day, though, I mean, I think both teams make good GPP plays, in my opinion. Just despite the low kills, because this has the potential, like these teams are good enough so that they can blow up in kills. Like Genji can definitely score 20 kills, and Damwon Kia as well. So I have seen it done by either team to score well for DFS purposes, but both teams have been playing slower, especially Damwon Kia. I know they're the favorite here, but they've been playing really slow lately. So I just feel like it's going to be low in kills again. So, but at the end of the day, I think I'm going to go. Damwon Kia beats Genji 2-1. But Genji is a live dog. Low kill upside. So yeah, so let's look at combined kills per minute metric real quick, and then this will be the end of the video. So let's look at LPL. First, Ultra Prime and Thunder Talk. It's sitting at 0.8. Let's see, 0.84 or so. Yeah, 0.84 on average. Ultra Prime has been playing much faster than Thunder Talk. So depending on who you think will win, gets a little bump there. More recently, same thing. Ultra Prime has been playing faster than Thunder Talk. Thunder Talk has been playing pretty slow, and I've said this before. I think it really is due to the fact that Tiftain and UCal from Korea, they used to play the LCK, come over to China, and now they're kind of playing like their whole team is playing like the LCK team. So Thunder Talk plays slow. So I think Ultra Prime makes a very good GPP play, given the kill upside as well. I'll make a note here. I think it's like sitting around 0.84 combined kills per minute. And then Ultra Prime plays fast, TT plays slow. So anyway. All right, RNG versus LGD. Like I said, I fully expect the LGD combined kills per minute to be high. Here, as you can see, yeah. So it's kind of like same thing, like between Thunder Talk and Ultra Prime. We saw that Ultra Prime plays fast, but Thunder Talk plays slow. Here as well, LGD plays fast, but RNG plays slower. Let's look at more recent games, whereas RNG play has actually been playing faster, much faster, kind of like at the LGD level. So this is projected to be like really high. So I want to see overall average CGPM is sitting at 0.87. Yeah, like 0.87 average. LGD plays fast. RNG plays slower, but faster more recently. So you can see like 0.79 overall for the split, and then 0.89 more recent games. That's a huge increase, like by 0.1. And then even in the last patch, last 5 games or so, they've been playing really fast. So yeah, I would, like I said, so given this high CKPM, given the biggest kill upside projection here for this matchup, I think that highest CKPM for this matchup naturally makes LGD a good GPP consideration. And that's because even though I may think that LGD has no chance of winning this matchup, I think the kill upside is there, so that's a huge plus for this team. So if they win for whatever chance, if they end up winning, LGD somehow pulls off an upset, they will most likely score really well. So I think it's worth a shot. Taking a chance on LGD, even though I just feel like RNG has been one of the top 2 or 3 teams so far in the last 2 weeks. And I feel like RNG should win against LGD. All right, DRX against Noshim. So let's look at that in the LCK stats, DRX, and then Noshim. So combined kills per minute for the overall average is sitting at 0.67 CKPM. So obviously that's like much lower compared to the other ones that we just saw. I mean, RNG's was 0.87, so that's like 0.2 lower than that. So that's a significant decrease. And then more recently, 0.68, 0.69, let's see, 0.7. Yeah, playing a little bit faster, especially DRX. That's surprising to see. 0.71. So yeah, both teams play slow, but much faster in recent games. So I think this has a little bit of sneaky kill upside. I mean, the fact that their recent trends kind of show us the little uptick in kills. So I think it has a little bit of kill upside there. So that's interesting to see. And we wouldn't have known that unless we took a look at this metric. So I think this is why we look at all the metrics, right? And then Damwon Kia versus Gen.G, the overall CKPM average is 0.67, same as the DRX Notion. Let's see, both teams play slow, but Gen.G plays a little bit faster. Damwon Kia has been playing really slow. Wow. Gen.G plays slow. Damwon Kia plays the slowest of all. I think maybe the slowest of all, like, compared to all LCK and LPL teams. I really think that. That's very interesting. That was not the case last season. See, like 0.57 and then. Jeez. All right, and then 0.53. Jeez. 0.6. All right. 0.64. Yeah, I just feel like Damwon Kia is not a good pick, even though I think they're a win. It's just because they just do not score well. And Gen.G in their losses, let's see how well they've been playing. I mean, how fast. 0.71, 0.71. So 0.7 is like their ceiling, right? Which, yeah, I mean, that's not good enough. I just feel like Damwon, not a very good kill upside. Gen.G maybe, but I just feel like even with Damwon's slower pace, like I want to see the CKPM and Damwon Kia's losses. 5-1. Oh my goodness. 6-1. So yeah, I might just fade this matchup, guys. I just feel like it's such a low combined kills per minute. This matchup may be fadeable in my opinion due to low, very low CKP. All right. So if I, were to pick kill upside games amongst the two LCK games, two Korea games, I'll pick the DRX versus Nongshim matchup just based on the metrics. And like I said, I just feel like DRX will win. I think Nongshim's strength more in the last couple of weeks has been in Ghost. Kana and Dread's form has been pretty mediocre, and DRX's form has been coming up, especially in the top lane and the jungle and Kingen and Pyosik. And Theft is obviously solid, so I just feel like they're just a kind of a matchup nightmare for Nongshim, in my opinion. So I think DRX will win. So DRX is in play. I think Ultra Prime or Thunder Talk is in play, and then RNG or LGD, because of, like I said, the matchup itself has the highest combined kills per minute. So I think it naturally makes LGD a good GBP consideration to take. It's like DRX. So probably these 5 teams are probably what I'm gonna focus on at the moment, just as a priority. So yeah, I mean, that's all I got for you guys. I know that Sheets also has posted a video earlier to kind of go over what he does in terms of using his projections and sheets and ownership percentages, and kind of going through his analysis and his lineup building process on SaberSim and other stuff, using some of like my predictions and analyses, and then some other industry touts, takes and everything and information. So that's a very interesting video if you are into kind of, thinking about if you feel like you are kind of missing the knowledge on lineup building process for League of Legends. So I think that's a very interesting video. So go check it out. But nonetheless, if you guys have any questions on the matchups or in the lineups or whatever you feel like you need, let me know. Shout at me on Twitter, Discord, or on YouTube. So good luck, everybody, and hope you guys make some money. So yeah, have a good one. See ya.